Come on, Annie. Let's go to the movies.
This is the Cinereelists, episode 563. My name is Kyle.
My name is James.
And my name is Zach.
And we're here to talk about movies, movie lists, and movie obsession for the next hour or so. Happy New Year, guys.
Thanks. It is New
Happy New
Year's
Year.
Day as we record this.
Officially 2023.
Yep.
What a
How time
year
flies.
it's been.
Yeah. This podcast is like, I think we started, when do we start, Zach? Early
14?
2014? Was it like
Yeah.
right? I know it was in January of some year. Was it in January of 2014?
It was definitely early 14.
It was 2014 because I was on episode 5 in February of 2014 while my wife and I were in Florida for our anniversary.
Right. That's how I mark time as well, when Kyle's anniversary was.
Yep.
I mean,
So we're almost at 9 years.
We
See-
are at 9 years.
the thing is, James, now my anniversary of my wife is now also the same date of my anniversary of meeting you. So it becomes this shared holiday.
Oh, okay. It's a
Yeah.
shared holiday. What do you get
Exactly.
Megan for the anniversary of meeting James? What kind of gift?
Oh, I usually buy her a Blu-ray or 4K every year for myself.
For yourself? You buy
Yes.
her a Blu-ray or
Like,
4K
here.
for yourself.
You really want Goodfellas on 4K, don't you? She goes, no, thank you. Okay, well, I'll keep it for myself then.
I'm sure
Happy
she
James
loves,
Day.
she loves me out there. Well, happy anniversary, Kyle. Early.
That's not my anniversary or our anniversary. No one's anniversary is right now. It was Megan's birthday yesterday, so you can wish her a happy belated birthday.
All right. Go ahead, Zach.
Happy belated birthday, Megan.
Nice.
So from the heart.
I actually meant to text her and I forgot. I was going to text her.
Mhm. Yeah, convenient.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I was. And then I heard about Barbara Walters and I got distracted.
I didn't realize Barbara Walters had died at first. I just saw these people posting like, Barbara Walters was a trailblazing woman in news, and I thought like there was a special about her or something.
Hmm.
And then
I
Megan's
didn't realize she was 92.
yeah. Then Megan's like, she died. I'm like, oh no, I just thought it was some retrospective on her career was happening.
Sure. To be honest, I didn't know she was still alive.
Oh, okay.
Because once you retire and you're like that high profile and you just disappear, I think people forget that you're around. Right?
James, is Gene Hackman still alive?
Gene Hackman is still
Yeah.
alive.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Okay. You are correct. He's still alive.
I know.
This is
Well,
a
I
weird
said he
game.
was.
Well, Zach, you're the one who talked about how many dead people do you know?
Yeah, really.
So
Yeah.
now we can add
Thanks for-
Barbara Walters to the list.
Oh.
That's
Yeah,
sad.
we can. And the Pope.
the
Well,
Pope
the
died too.
Pope Emeritus. Yes.
Yeah.
The Pope
He
is
wasn't
still
the Pope
with us.
anymore, though, right?
No,
Right.
but you know who I'm talking about.
You can you just call him the former guy if you want.
The former
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome to episode 563. It's a new year, obviously, and a new podcast. We've decided we're only going to talk for 5 minutes before we actually get into everything. That's not true. We just happened to do that this time. This week, we're going to talk Glass Onion: A Knives Out Mystery and play a mystery game that Kyle hath brought to the proceedings today. Zach and I have no idea what we're going to do as far as that game. Only Kyle knows. He's keeping it a well-guarded secret.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get into all that, I need to remind you there's a video version of this podcast on YouTube. Go check it out there. You could also support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Cinereelists. Support the podcast, get extra after show audio. You could leave us an Apple Podcast review. That would be a nice New Year's resolution. If you haven't done that yet, make sure you do it in 2023. You could also send us an email to heyguys@cinereelists.com. REEL with an S on the end. Send us a comment, a question, a list suggestion, a movie suggestion, any of those kinds of things, including if you're going to make a top 10 or top 20 list as far as movies that you saw in 2022, we want you to send us that list. It's right there in the name of this podcast. And it's not just us making lists. You guys have to make lists too. All right. That's the deal. And this is obviously the most important list you can make other than your top 100. So second most. But if you're going to make a list of top movies of 2022, and you're going to, send it to us. heyguys@cinereelists.com. We will include it in the listener aggregate list for our annual hangover episode. And also, if you send it early enough, we might get a recommendation out of it for something we haven't seen that might make our lists. So that is 2 very good reasons why you should do it. Zach, what's the third reason again?
Well, the third reason is it's a good discipline to get into, to start rating your movies against each other, reflect back on the year, take stock and move forward to the next year.
That is a very good reason. Kyle, can you beat that reason?
Yeah. We're running out of content and we really need you guys to come through for us.
All right. Both valid, I think, for sure. Point is, just do it. Send us an email. heyguys@domainname.com. Let's jump into Glass Onion: A Knives Out Mystery. We're going to talk about it right after this clip.
Alongside and underneath the party, you've been charged with a serious task. Because tonight, in this very room, a murder will be committed. My murder. You will have to closely observe the crime. Consider what you know about each other. Know that across the island, I've hidden clues. Some may be helpful, some may misdirect. That's for you to determine. But if anyone can name the killer, tell me how they achieved the murder, and most importantly, what was the motive, that person wins our game.
That was Glass Onion: A Knives Out Mystery, a 2022 American mystery film written and directed by Rian Johnson and starring Daniel Craig, Edward Norton, Janelle Monáe, Catherine Hahn, Leslie Odom Jr., Jessica Henwick, Madeline Klein, Kate Hudson, and Dave Bautista. Pretty much only them, I would say. There's a couple of other people in here, including a kind of interesting cameo or two that I'm sure we will get into once we hit the spoiler section of this episode. The official IMDb plot synopsis for Glass Onion: A Knives Out Mystery is: famed Southern detective Benoit Blanc travels to Greece for his latest case. That is a spoiler-free plot description, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, that is almost nothing, I would say. If you took out Greece, it would literally have nothing to do with the movie other than Benoit Blanc going on a case. Can one of you guys give us a synopsis that's spoiler-free that maybe gives a little more context than that?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Ed Norton is a very famous billionaire, kind of an Elon Musk character. And he throws a regular yearly party with his closest friends. And this is that year. And he's throwing a murder mystery dinner. And he invites his friends. And Daniel Craig's detective character comes along too. And the setup is that they're going to solve a murder mystery, like, party kind of thing.
Like a dinner party kind of thing.
Yeah.
Nice. And then Knives Out-ish hijinks occur.
Yeah.
And then the plot proceeds from there.
Yeah. Whodunit-isms abound.
Sure. Okay, so there's
Secrets
going to
are revealed. Alliances are shattered.
must
Yada,
be
yada,
revealed.
yada.
There's going to be 2 parts to this review. Spoiler-free part, which we're about to go into, and a spoiler talk part, which we will put at the end of the podcast, or if you're watching on YouTube, you can click the link in the description to jump right to it at any point. Let's get into Glass Onion: A Knives Out Mystery. Spoiler free. I saw it a month ago, kind of forgot the details of it. So I recently rewatched it. I'm all refreshed. But what I really want to know is what you guys thought about it. Kyle.
Well,
Sure.
we know
Did you
what
wanna
you
say-
thought about it because you tweeted that there's no good pandemic movies, but this other movie.
I didn't think this was a pandemic movie. I
This
didn't
is
think it was about the pandemic.
well, so this movie does use the pandemic as a setup because it does take place May 2020.
Right.
And by using the pandemic, you're able to keep a rather small cast of characters, right? They're all isolated on this island. They're in quarantine together, essentially. And this whole murder mystery takes place on this island in this elaborate house owned by Edward Norton. And you're not really getting a lot of outside influence. And I was definitely expecting like a Agatha Christie 10 Little Indians style murder mystery where, you know, the bodies would be dropping and there'd be all this question about who done it. And this movie, to its benefit, kind of spun that on its head. It was a different take on the murder mystery than I was expecting. And I think that was a good thing because at first I was like, all right, I'm down with a good Agatha Christie mystery. And this movie was able to go a little bit different direction of, you know, having everyone isolated in a single location and the whodunit aspect of it. I really liked the characters that were brought together. They're all kind of based on personalities that I think we see now within
Mm-hmm.
pop media, social media, whatever you want to say. Like you have an influencer, you have a kind of a men's right YouTuber. There's, you know, a scientist. There's, I don't even remember who else was on the. I can't remember all the different archetypes, but
An eccentric
Governor?
billionaire.
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, there. Yeah, you have a politician there, right? And you're right.
Mhm.
So you had all these different archetypes kind of together, and they all have their reasons for being connected to this guy. And I don't know. I thought the movie did a nice job of giving both a murder mystery, but also kind of explaining how these people are connected and why they're friends because they don't seem like they should be a group of friends based on their different paths they're taking, but they kind of bring it all together. Zach, what'd you think?
Oh, I had a lot of fun with this movie. I liked it a lot. I as I was watching it, I was just like, this movie goes down so easily. Like it's such an easy movie to enjoy. I thought there's a diversity of characters that you kind of get a sense of all of them. You know, they all have interesting motives and backstories or whatever. There's a ton of little cinematic flourishes in this movie. You know, with the dong noise that comes every hour, you know, just adds a little like musical tension, you know. There's tons of little Easter eggs all throughout it of all sorts of different things. It's just, I really think it's a filmmaker having a lot of fun making movies, you know.
Mhm.
And I like Edward Norton. I think he's such a good actor. So it's cool to see him in things because he's not in a ton anymore,
Yeah.
you know, when he used to be all over the late 90s. I thought there was a lot of cleverness in this movie, a ton of cleverness. And Benoit Blanc was probably my least favorite part of the first one. And so I was a little trepidatious when they're making another one, and the only connective tissue is Benoit Blanc.
Mhm.
But my fears were not valid. Yeah, I mean, he's still probably not my favorite thing in this movie, but he didn't drag it down at all. And I really loved some of the performances. Like the main female character was awesome, the business partner.
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought it was fun, clever, interesting. Swerved me a couple times. I had a great time with it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well. I think I enjoyed it the second time more than the first, even though I saw the
Okay.
first one in a theater, second time at home. Second time I paused it a couple times just and did something else. So score one for the home viewing experience. No, just kidding. Yeah, I think probably knowing how it was going to play out on the second view gave me like an extra level of enjoyment that you just couldn't get the first time, because there's just so much at the beginning of that movie that necessarily explains the end, but makes a lot of sense when you rewatch it. Like a lot of the standoffishness of certain characters and the way other characters interact, you find out more about them later on in the movie. That like the weirdness at the beginning makes more sense. Not necessarily that it didn't make sense then, it just the motivation for why it happened is present on a rewatch. So I do think this is a movie that is, if you enjoyed it, worth a rewatch at some point down the line, because I think you'll get something out of a second viewing at minimum. The first time, I think it was just a lot all at once for me, and I didn't dislike it. I was just kind of lukewarm on it. Whereas the first Knives Out, I think right out of the gate, I was all about it. I think the story structure, Kyle mentioned, they're kind of like flipping your traditional whodunit on its head. I think that just kind of confused me, because the movie goes like, I don't know, half the movie, if not more, without an actual murder. I don't think that's a spoiler, because the murder is going to come when it comes.
It's not like Knives Out where it starts with a murder.
They're not even building up to a murder.
Right.
In this
one
movie.
just has a lot of setup of who these people are, what's this island all about.
Right. There is a ton of setup and no like who somebody's about to get murdered or there's a shadowy figure that like they just never even play in that game until it's time to play that game. And I think that threw me off the first time. But the second time, the way they back into the plot itself about halfway through, I appreciate it a lot, because it made more sense to me the second time. Not that it didn't make sense the first. It's just, yeah. And I also really loved the lampooning of like public figures that we have today. I mean, it's cutting, but not like cruel, I would say. And the Edward Norton character, I'm not the first to say, is like a perfect stand-in for like a guy that we're hearing about every day these days. And I know the movie was made well before what's going on today. But it's just kind of oddly comparative to one of our main public figures.
It's almost like, I don't know, egomaniac tech billionaires are kind of one-dimensional people.
Sure.
And it's easy to pigeonhole them into an archetype.
Yeah, I also really like the like self-empowerment resolution we got. I liked all of that stuff. And it's like when people got their comeuppance, it was in the worst way possible for them. I liked that. It's not like somebody walked away in handcuffs. Ooh, is that spoiler? Do I need to? All right, I'll flag that. Yeah, so I don't know. I just thought that at any moment it didn't feel like a murder mystery until it was. And then you were in the thick of it. And I liked all that even more the second time than I did the first. And also just, I mean, this is a killer cast. He got a lot of people in here. As far as being a COVID movie, I mean, they spend 95% of the movie not talking about COVID. So I don't think it was focused on COVID like other COVID, what I would consider a COVID movie. I do like what Ryan Johnson did with the COVID stuff right at the beginning. Like he uses masks and hugging to tell you everything you need about like the people on that pier.
Oh yeah. They all have a different mask that like tells something about them.
Right. Yeah.
And you see what they're doing in quarantine to give you an idea of like how seriously they are not taking the COVID pandemic.
Yeah. And that makes total sense to me and everybody else who's probably watching this movie right now. But in 20 years, when 20-year-olds are watching this, do you think they'll understand what that meant? I hope they don't. I hope we don't go through another mask period and all of those crazy things.
Oh, James, you can hope, but
you think we'll have another one in the next 20 years? I hope not.
I do believe so. Yes.
I hope not. Yeah, but bottom line, not a COVID movie, but I did enjoy it. That being said, Kimmy is better.
I do think the title of this movie is dumb in the fact that it's not trusting audiences to like make any connections. Right. So the
What do
title
you
is
mean the colon, after the colon part?
right. So it's Glass Onion: a Knives Out mystery. Like
Mhm.
Knives Out is now the name of the franchise, and it should have been like a Benoit Blanc mystery.
Sure.
Yeah. Ryan Johnson apparently hates the Knives Out mystery part of it.
Oh, does
And
he?
he fought to not have it on there, and Netflix vetoed him.
Yeah,
But he really wanted to just be Glass Onion.
it'd be calling like Temple of Doom, a Raiders of the Lost Ark adventure. It's just just keep the title Glass Onion, and if you have to have the colon, call it a Benoit Blanc mystery if you think people are that dumb. But
Yeah, or like calling Empire Strikes Back, like Star Wars: Episode 5's The Empire Strikes Back.
right, it's just called
Why
The
do you
Empire
need
Strikes.
to do that?
Right, exactly.
Or like going back and renaming A New Hope, Star Wars: A New Hope.
Empire Strikes Back: A New Hope story.
Han Solo, a Star Wars story.
That made sense at least. Like, if you
Solo.
don't know who Han Solo is, you're not gonna go see it anyway. So I don't know why I have to put Han Solo, a Star Wars story, in, or Solo, whatever it's called. But like, at least that's within that franchise universe, which is named Star Wars. But anyway,
Sure.
it's a dumb title. Ryan Johnson agrees with me, so he and I are, incredibly smart people. I am as smart as Ryan Johnson, apparently.
He should have called the first movie Knives Out: a Benoit Blanc story, because at that point, I bet they would have let him keep it.
Right. Yep.
But who really remembers the name of the detective in Knives Out? Like beyond people like us. Like your
I don't know.
average person doesn't think about that name
You could be up
again
there with
they.
could be Hercule Poirot, Miss Marple, Benoit Blanc, all in the same little.
Those were books that lasted for like generations before they became things in theaters. This is just Ryan Johnson writing.
Ryan Johnson channeling his inner Agatha Christie.
Sure.
Yeah.
I will say these movies are fun, but I'd rather have another Star Wars for Ryan Johnson, to be honest. His Star Wars had so much potential, and he only got that one.
What if your next Star Wars movie was a Benoit Blanc movie? It's like a murder mystery in the Star Wars universe, and they just
Written
take
by
Daniel Craig.
Ryan Johnson.
Yeah.
I mean, Daniel Craig's already been in the Star Wars movies, so
Yeah.
I
So his
don't
storm.
think he can be in another one.
We've already established with Finn that stormtroopers can go off and do other things. So Daniel Craig stormtrooper became a Southern mystery detective.
Sure. I guess I'm for it.
One thing I want to mention is that I very much could see directorial connections between this movie and other Ryan Johnson films.
Like what?
I feel like he's really like an auteur in the sense of you can feel a Ryan Johnson stamp on a movie he makes. I'll give some examples. Obviously, connections to the original Knives Out. So that it goes without saying. Moments where like Benoit Blanc is talking about the game Clue. That scene, do you remember the scene I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That very much felt reminiscent of scenes from like Looper where they're talking about like, I don't need to explain the science of time travel to you. It doesn't make sense,
Mm-hmm.
And also felt very similar to Luke Skywalker in his Star Wars movie where he like throws the lightsaber and like is just flippant about it. Like it felt very much like the same sensibility to me that I saw as like directorial stamps on the film. So I feel like he has this like connective auteur kind of thing going on with his films.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think Ryan Johnson is not a flashy director, but he's an incredibly competent director.
Yeah.
Like having watched this the second time, I think I didn't have a full appreciation for just the basic, filmmaking techniques he's using and the playfulness, like again in the scene with the masks on the dock in Greece. there's like this shot where what do they call those things? Like the little buggies that have the seats in the back.
Yeah.
Anyway, the little buggy is driving
It's
down the
blocking
pier.
the entrance.
Right.
Yeah.
It's blocking the guy on the motorcycle, which you can hear backfiring as he drives down and it kind of moves out of the way and reveals him. And you absolutely don't have to do that shot, but it's fun to have him just kind of appear out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Instead of the long shot of having him ride down the pier. So
there's one shot where like, they're outside and it's nighttime, so it's dark. And then there's these spotlights that are like scanning the ground, and you see a scan up, and then it like scans the foreground and you see something in the foreground, is lit up by it. Like they didn't notice before. And it's like, those little touches are so cool.
Yeah. And I wouldn't say they're there for a reason. They're not just Rian Johnson throwing in frills type of thing. Like it felt like anytime he used anything other than like straight storytelling, he used it to give some kind of characterization to somebody or move the plot along on some level or something like that. I just think it's like if you were studying film and you wanted to know how to use camera techniques to get messages across, you would study Spielberg, certainly other people, and Rian Johnson would be in that conversation as well. Because I think all of his movies, even if I don't prefer one or two of them, they're all incredibly competently made from day one. And that's pretty impressive.
And there's moments in this movie that seem like just gags at the moment where it's something funny that happens. But then as you learn more about the movie and this island, those moments, which were funny, also serve a purpose for the plot or have a reason for being there. So I feel like he doesn't just do things for the sake of doing them. Like he says, I'm gonna make a funny moment, but it's also gonna connect to whatever is happening in my movie. I know it's very vague, but I want to say that for spoilers. So,
and one thing the movie does, which I really appreciate with murder mysteries, is it does show you everything you need to see in order to solve the mystery yourself. It's just, it's not highlighted, and so you don't notice it. But like, it's all in there,
Yeah.
And I like that.
I don't know if it's all in this one, but we could talk about it.
We can talk about it in spoilers.
Okay,
sure. I mean, it eventually gives you all the answers, but yeah, we'll talk about it. Anything else with non-spoilers or Glass Onion? Let's leave out the knives element. Let's be respectful. The movie's called Glass Onion. No more colon. In fact, I'm going to edit the Wikipedia page right now. Ready? Somebody else talk while I do this. While I figure out how to do this. Oh, you have to log in now to do this? That's
always.
I thought it was for the people. Now it's for the people with accounts. I see.
I know.
I'm a Wikipedia editor.
Why is the man trying to control my Wikipedia editing?
I told you that I got threatened to be banned from Wikipedia years ago.
No, for what?
I created a page about myself and claimed I invented electricity. I just wanted to see what it was like to edit Wikipedia and do hyperlinks and everything. And I posted it, and within seconds, I received emails from Wikipedia saying your post has been taken down, your account is being on probation. Here are the reasons, and apparently you can't create a personal page about yourself. You can't make up lies about yourself, like you invented something you didn't. So I was impressed by how
apparently you can't do that.
Yeah, I was impressed by how fast, and this was in college. This is probably 2005, 2006 that I did this, the early days of Wikipedia. So even back then, those moderators were just swooping in and checking everything.
Sure. Have either of you ever started a Wikipedia page for something and it's still going?
No, I started one, but it didn't last very long.
And it's still going.
It's not still going.
Yeah, Kyle, you're the exact reason why I'm a big proponent of people like to say Wikipedia, anyone can change it, and so you can't trust it. But you're exactly why you can relatively trust it, is because if you try to change something on Wikipedia, it'll get reverted real quick.
Yeah, no,
that's not true.
And they're volunteers mostly who are checking all these changes that are being made.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
it's
for sure.
not they have a staff, but their staff is not doing most of the checking. It's just volunteers who want to make sure it's a as accurate as possible.
I've never created a page, but I've edited lots of pages.
I created a page for a band that still exists today.
The band or the page?
Both.
Oh, wow.
What's the page?
Weavy Stunder. WEVIE. Like Stevie Wonder, but switch the the ST and the W. Weavy Stunder.
Oh boy. All right.
Which is a very weird art rock band from the UK that consists of like two guys who used to be sound designers for the BBC, and the music is very strange. And they're a very small band, but they get reviewed by like Pitchfork and stuff like that. They're around.
And how much is Weavy Stunder paying you to mention them on this podcast?
Absolutely nothing. I'm
Okay.
just excited that a Wikipedia page I started exists and continues to thrive. I don't know how many times this page gets hit, but I'm sure it does occasionally.
What is Lurlock?
Lurlock? I don't know. Where do you see that?
Well, Lurlock is the account that started the page.
Oh, so I did it on this guy named Daryl, who that was his screen name. I did it on
Okay.
his account back in the day.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Daryl started the page.
No. I
Officially.
started it by using his Wikipedia account.
You if you had created the Weavy Stunder Facebook or whatever Wikipedia page, you would have created the Weavy Stunder Wikipedia page.
How dare you? Are you saying I'm not telling the truth?
I'm just saying you're the Winklevoss twins of Weavy Stunder.
Sure. I guess I might be. Yeah, speaking of like people starting things when they didn't really start them, let's get into spoilers, right?
Can we
Glass
first
Onion?
do our star rating of Glass Onion?
I think that would be appropriate. Yes.
Okay. All right.
What did you think about it,
I know we're
Kyle?
trying to subvert the podcast here by doing things backwards, but
Yes, I'm trying to subvert the podcast.
I'm going to give this 4 stars.
Kyle's going to give it a 4. I'll give it a
I'll go
4.
4.5.
Zach's going to go 4.5. 2 4 stars and a 4.5 for Glass Onion. Written and directed by Ryan Johnson. And titled by him. Kyle,
Yes.
let's jump into a game.
Let's do a game. You guys
What do
ready?
you got for us?
Okay. So I wanted to create a game that was somewhat based on this week's movie. Let's call it a riddle or a puzzle game.
Okay.
So the point of this game is you need to guess the movie title. And the clue is going to be words that are synonyms for the movie title.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So
Can
for
I
example,
type the title out as you say it, just so I can look at it?
Of course you can. Yep.
Okay.
So we'll do an example one here, and then we'll get into the actual game. So your first one would be best weapon, which is what movie title?
What do you mean? What movie title is Best Weapon?
So you're going to think about synonyms.
Top Gun.
for-
Top Gun.
Top Gun.
Top Gun.
Exactly. Best weapon is Top Gun.
For the record, I am going to be awful at this.
Okay.
Now,
Just
why is that,
warning-
James? Are you
just
bad at
warning everybody.
synonyms?
Because I've played games like this before, and I'm not good at this type of thing.
James, you're the human thesaurus.
Been called that before, yes, but it never applied.
All right. Do
You're
you
the
want,
rhinoceros.
Do you want one more practice one, James?
Sure.
Okay. Here we
Why
go.
not?
Well-behaved colloquial men.
Oh my gosh, the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
No. Zach?
Colloquial.
Yep. Well-behaved colloquial men.
I'm not even sure I know what colloquial means.
A colloquial would be
Proper.
no, improper. The opposite of proper. Informal.
I have no clue.
I don't know. That's a hard one.
Goodfellas. Well-behaved.
Oh,
Good.
wh-
Colloquial
and then-
men. Fellas. Goodfellas.
All right.
Okay.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that didn't get that.
Not all these
That
are like
was
that. Okay.
that was pretty terrible. That was pretty
All right.
terrible.
This first one should be a little easier. Do you just want to shout it out, or should I go back and forth?
I think we should shout it out.
Okay.
Because this is going to be brutal.
Whoever gets it first shouts it out. Zach, you can keep score
All
as
right.
always.
Yeah.
Okay. Putting dots on locomotives.
It's train spotting.
Putting dots on locomotives.
Yep.
Train spotting.
Train spotting is correct.
Putting dots.
Yeah, putting dots on locomotives. Train spotting.
Okay.
Okay. I like how we've explained.
This is
James.
like the BuzzFeed of movie games, basically.
I want. Yeah.
Like it's. This is why I hate this type of stuff. Is like whoever made these thinks it's so cute.
I think this
It's
is very
just-
clever.
Kyle, James
not
is going
clever.
to lose it. I hope you know he's going to absolutely lose it.
I
He's-
hate this
he's-
crap, but I'm
he's-
ready. If it is
He's
with
beginning
another
rant
Kyle.
mode.
You guys ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. The absence of light with a soldier from the Middle Ages.
Highlander.
No, you have to be more literal than that. So, like, break it down. The absence of light would
Yeah.
be
I'm trying to think of what a
Absence of
soldier for the
light.
Middle Ages is.
a soldier from the Middle Ages.
Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight. Correct.
So annoying.
Don't worry, James. Only 45 to go.
Hey, is this a good time to announce that I also have a game prepared?
Sure.
Are we ditching this game already?
No, absolutely
No.
not. I am enjoying this game.
All right.
I just wanted to.
Of
I
course
should tell
you are.
guys
You're
now.
gonna kill me at it.
How about this one? Furious male bovine animal.
Mad cow. First cow.
Ooh, you're on the right track.
Cowboys and aliens.
Get away from the word cow. Think male bovine animal.
Bull.
Raging Bull.
Raging bull. Yeah.
I think I got that.
I'll give that's a point for James.
Wow.
Yeah.
Check the tapes.
No, I'm pretty sure I got that. Unless the Zoom delay made it at the exact same time, possibly.
I'm gonna give James the point on that one.
Okay.
I like this one. First number took flight over Swiss clock's home.
First
One flew over
number?
the cuckoo's nest.
One flew over the cuckoo's nest.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even type that out fast enough.
Town inhabitant with slender stick.
Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane. All right, James, you got this one. Ready? Frightening movie. Frightening
Scary
film.
movie. Scary movie.
Yep,
Scary
there you go.
movie.
Yep.
I got it.
On the wrong clue.
With an asterisk.
No,
I got it.
James, you got scary movie from the clue frightening movie.
Hey, I got to take them where I can get them. All right.
Frightening movie.
Cease living before rigid.
Die before you're
Die
dead.
Hard. Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Yeah,
Yes.
nice.
Yep.
I'm just not going to type them. I didn't type it that time. I think typing is taking brain power.
Yeah, probably.
This one I like. Dad goes after the deity. Dad goes after the deity.
Father of the bride. I don't know.
You got one of those words right.
Sure.
But dad
Um,
goes after the deity.
Father chases God.
No. Dad goes after the deity.
Godfather.
The Godfather. Yes. I think these are great.
There's something.
All right. Insane greatest amount shortened.
Insane. Greatest amount. Billions. Millions.
More literal. Insane. Greatest amount shortened.
Infinity. Insane.
Yep. What's a
Crazy Rich Asians.
what's a word for the greatest amount?
I don't
Highest.
Different word.
know. Most.
Largest.
Opposite of minimum.
Maximum.
Maximum.
Yep. Now
maximum.
how now
overdrive.
shorten the greatest amount?
Max.
Crazy
Max.
Max.
Crazy
Mad
Max.
Max.
Mad
Max.
There
Mad
we
Max. Who got that?
go.
I feel like we had that at the same time.
Yeah, that
I
was a
think no one got
group
that.
effort on that one.
Yeah.
The end of
Is
the
he? Hold on. The Mad Max. The mad part is he crazy or angry?
I think he's crazy.
yeah, he's
but
crazy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. The end of the world immediately.
Apocalypse Now.
Correct. Crooning while the water comes down.
Singing in the rain
Hey, nice one, James.
James, you're doing awesome.
while the water comes down. And you think these are clever.
I think these are great. Yes. I'm having a great time. Cab chauffeur.
Taxi driver.
Yeah, there. James he's clicking it now.
What was the first word? Oh, cab.
Cab?
Okay.
Yep. Oh, a few enjoy information technology heated. I don't think this is a good one.
A few enjoy. What was the rest?
Information technology.
If you or
heated.
a few.
A few enjoy information technology heated.
Some
Oh,
What's
like
the opposite of information
more
technology?
computers.
No, this one's bad. This one's bad.
Matrix.
Don't get hung up on informational technology.
Okay. So read it without that.
Well, I'm saying don't
It
get
does
hung up
need that.
on those specific words. A few enjoy
Okay.
informational technology heated.
No clue. You're gonna have to give us clues.
I mean, okay, so a few could be
Many.
some, right? No,
Some like
no.
it hot.
Some like it hot. Some like IT hot.
Okay.
It took. I had to look at it for a while too. Like, why is that informational technology?
That is bad.
That's a bad one. Yep. Knife jogger,
Swordfish.
not swordfish. No,
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner.
The one after the second guy,
Third Man.
the third man. Yep. James, you should get this
Never
one.
seen it.
Water supply hounds.
Hose dogs.
Not
Faucet
hose,
dogs.
reservoir dogs.
Shower dogs.
Reservoir
dogs. Shower dogs.
You didn't even give me a chance. Kyle answered it before either of us could.
No, Zach said it.
He said shower dogs, and then you said reservoir.
No, he said
dogs.
after shower dogs. He said reservoir dogs. I heard it.
Did you?
Did you say it, Zach? Oh, you
I said
didn't?
faucet dogs.
Oh.
He didn't even say it.
All right. Well, no one gets that one then. All right.
Kyle gets a point.
Point for me. I
He
think
guessed
I'm.
it before we
I
did.
think I'm overall winning this game right now. Near meetings of the tertiary sort.
Encounters of the third
Near.
kind. Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Correct. Okay.
All right.
Here we go. The opposite of down.
Up.
Mm-hmm.
I was waiting for more.
Soft, wet, shapeless mass of books. Soft, wet, shapeless mass of books.
The
Hard draw hard
What's a
dry
synonym for
library?
How about here, I'll make this one easier.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think an easier clue than books, because books is not a great clue.
Okay.
How about soft, wet, shapeless mass of made up books?
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
How many more of these are there? Just curious.
I mean, I've got 25 more, but we can stop at any point.
You weren't joking when you said 45.
Yeah, there's 50 of them. All right, let's do 5 more. We'll do 5 more and then we'll call it up.
All right,
Okay, we'll call
all
it
right.
over. Yeah. Celebrity conflicts.
Normal life.
Famous fights.
You guys are close. Celebrities are also known as
Star
Wars.
Star
Yep.
Wars.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
I don't like that one.
Okay. How about spook apprehenders?
Ghostbusters.
There you go. Let's see. Fiery seats on horses.
Chariots of Fire.
Blazing Saddles.
Blazing saddles.
Chariots of Fire would work too.
A dozen annoyed guys.
12 Angry Men.
I'm going to do 2 more. Okay, these last 2.
Two
Man
more.
of noble rank belonging to the circles.
Man of noble rank belonging to the circles.
Uh-huh.
Knights of the Round Table.
Nope.
The Circles.
Man
Man?
of noble rank belonging to the circles.
I have no clue.
What's a word for a man of noble rank?
Sir.
Or,
Knight,
Noble.
King,
or.
Royal.
Gosh, this is awful. There's
Um,
only like 15 options, evidently.
The female version is known as a lady.
A lord.
A lord.
Lord of the Rings.
There you go. Lord of the Rings. And our
That's not a movie.
sorry. Okay. A man of
Intestines.
intestines. A gathering. Okay, anyway. Last one. Here we go. 24 hours after the Earth Pig.
What's the opposite of a pig?
Well, I was
It's
thinking
not
more
opposite. They're synonyms, not
Yeah.
antonyms.
Earth Pig.
Some of them have been antonyms.
Have they?
I think they've all been synonyms.
Earth pig.
An Earth Pig.
Global.
Okay. It's not Earth, it's space, right? Let's think this out, Zach. Space.
No, it's a synonym.
Never pig.
It's
No,
these are
it's syn- it's not
these are
opposite,
antonyms.
I'm
James.
still
It's-
antonyming. Okay.
It's synonyms.
Yep.
So instead of Earth, it's like planet
Sure.
or globe.
Think
It's either
about
planet or globe.
Lowercase
Or world.
Earth.
Lowercase Earth.
Yes.
I don't even know what that means.
Ground.
Ground. Earth Pig.
Ground hog
Yep.
day.
20
Groundhog's day.
24 hours after the Earth Pig. Groundhog Day.
Earth.
All right.
Earth pig. Shouldn't there be a like synonym for day at the end?
It should be
24
Dirt.
hours after the Earth Pig.
I think dirt would have been a
Ah.
better synonym to use.
A dirt
Yep.
pig. Yeah. That's why I wanted you guys to
Mhm.
focus on lowercase Earth, not uppercase Earth.
Yeah.
All right. Your torture is over.
I liked it.
Okay.
James, you did
Thank
better than you
goodness.
thought you would.
Please, I got like 4.
You got 7.
Well, I did do better than I thought I did.
Demonstrably. I got 15, but
Yep.
7 is, I think, a great score.
How dare you? It's less than half of what you got.
How dare you? Okay. My game
Don't
is
baby me.
my game's pretty quick.
Okay.
Okay.
Because this is a murder mystery, I thought I would look up famous riddles from movies. So these are
So is this
riddles.
spoiler? Is this spoiler for other movies?
No. They're just riddles that are presented in movies. So I don't know if
Okay.
that's a spoiler or not.
It is if it like reveals what the movie's about
I mean,
in detail.
it could just be a movie that has a riddle for fun, not
That's
necessarily
exactly
yeah.
what it is. Let me give you an example as our first one, and you tell me if it's a spoiler.
Are we
Okay.
solving the riddle, or are we just
Yeah.
telling you what movie the riddle's from?
No, you're solving the riddle.
Okay.
Okay, here's the riddle. It's from Labyrinth.
For the record, I hate both these games, and I haven't even played the second one. So.
James, you don't like riddles?
I don't like riddles.
What about witty wordplay?
Okay.
Ugh.
This is a riddle from Labyrinth. There are 2 doors. One leads to the castle, the other to certain death. You may ask one question to one guard to help you decide which door is the correct one. One guard always lies, and the other one always tells the truth. How do you choose?
I mean, I remember this very clearly from the movie, and also I don't remember the answer. So,
Do you ask one of the guards where the other guard's door leads to?
That is close, but that is not the answer.
Okay.
I don't remember.
You ask what the other guard would say their door leads to.
So the one that's telling the truth
will correctly tell you that the guy will lie and tell you to go through the truth teller's door.
Okay.
So basically, whatever they say, you go through the opposite door.
Yep.
Okay. This movie. How about this? I won't tell you the movie, and then it's not a spoiler.
Can we guess the movie?
Sure.
Okay.
Is it an old movie? If so, that most people have seen, then I wouldn't worry about it. But
It's at least 15 years old.
okay, and it's a movie most people have seen.
If they would have seen it by then. I mean, they're not gonna see it now. If they didn't see it then, they're not seeing it now.
All right.
What weighs more? All the trains that pass through Grand Central Station in a day, or all the trees cut down in a year to print U.S. currency?
Wait, this isn't a riddle.
It's a riddle.
More like a fact.
It's more like a fact. Yeah.
Is it this fact or that fact? I'm going to say the second one.
All the trees cut down in a year to print U.S. currency?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Kyle, what are you saying?
I'm going to agree.
Okay. The answer, and the reason it's a riddle, is that they weigh the exact same. Nothing. U.S. currency is not printed on paper from trees, and trains go through Grand Central Terminal, not Grand Central Station.
That is a riddle.
For the record, I hate those kind of riddles more than any other kind of riddle. The ones where there's not really one, like both answers are not really a part of the answer.
You
Can
hate
anyone
a
guess
riddle
the
where
movie
the
that's
answer
from?
is actually.
Can anyone guess
Can I
the movie
guess
that's
what
from?
that's from?
Yeah.
Now You See Me.
No.
I have no
Kyle.
clue.
All right. I guess it can't be a spoiler then.
Well, what do you tell us? It is?
Inside Man.
Uh,
All right. The legend writ, the stain affected, the key in silence undetected, 55 in iron pen, Mr. Matlock can't offend.
I need to see that one. I can't do that one just on audio clues.
Sorry, James.
No
any
clue what you
guesses?
just said. I have no clue what you just said.
It's the answer is the Declaration of Independence.
Is this from
And the
National
movie
Treasure?
National Treasure, yeah.
Say it again.
The legend writ, the stain affected, the key in silence undetected, 55 in iron pen, Mr. Madlock can't offend.
Sure. Okay.
That's a proper riddle.
I understand some of those references, but I don't. What's the Matlock
Yeah,
one? I don't even know what
Matlock.
that means.
I'm not sure. All right. 30 white horses on a red hill. First they champ, then they stamp, then they stand still.
What's the question?
What are they?
Oh, I thought you were just
30 what?
30 white horses on a red hill. First they champ, then they stamp, then they stand still.
What are they? They're 30 white horses on a hill.
postage
No,
stamp
that-
or something.
That's like a poetic language for these things.
Oh.
It's a riddle.
I don't know. Kyle?
I have no clue.
Have I spoiled another movie for you? This is from The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smog, and the answer is
Okay.
teeth.
Haven't seen that movie.
Oh,
Why would the answer be T? Can you please explain that to me?
Okay. 30 white horses on a red hill. That's 30 teeth.
Oh, teeth.
Yeah.
Teeth.
As in your mouth.
Yeah.
I thought you meant tea, like as in
Oh.
tea and crumpets.
Not tea. Not teeth.
Okay. Teeth makes sense.
All right. Here's a proper riddle. As I was going to St. Ives, I met
Oh.
a man with 7 wives. Every wife had 7 sacks. Every sack had 7 cats. Every cat had 7 kittens. Kittens, cats, sacks, and wives. How many are going to St. Ives?
I got it.
I don't know.
I know.
Kyle knows it.
It's 1.
1. The narrator.
You're right.
Because he's saying, as I was going to St. Ives.
This is from
And what's
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Yes, it is.
I thought I recognized it, but I never would have pulled that it's from that movie.
Kyle gets the first point.
That's the first point awarded.
All right. This is from Batman Forever.
All right.
Tear one off and scratch my head. What once was red is black instead.
Which once was red.
Tear one off and scratch my head. What once was black now is red.
Is it a scab?
Newspaper.
No.
It's not a scab.
No. Tear one off and scratch my head. What once was red is black instead.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
A match.
Okay.
Who gets terrible matches these days?
Do you?
No.
All right, James. This riddle you might like even less. This type of riddle.
Okay. Can't wait.
Why is a raven like a writing desk?
Why is a raven like a writing
This is like an
desk?
Oscar Wilde setup.
Can you give me the movie?
Alice in Wonderland.
All right. Why is a raven like a writing desk?
Oh, I know. Okay, yeah, James, you're gonna hate this one.
I don't know. I give up.
It's the Mad Hatter. It's just he's just making things up.
The Mad Hatter is just insane, and so it doesn't have an answer.
You're right. I do hate that.
All right, and we're out.
Awesome.
So, what
That
final
was only
score?
slightly torturous.
You guys need to brush up on your movie riddles.
Well, but those weren't movies. Well, those weren't riddles about movies. Those are riddles
From
from
movies.
movies.
In movies.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you for joining us for this episode 563 of the Cinereelists podcast. We appreciate your listenership. Don't forget, you can always follow us on YouTube, or subscribe, rather. Support us on Patreon, get extra after show audio, leave us an Apple Podcast, or send us an email to heyguys@cinereelists.com. Again, we're looking for your top 10 or top 20 of 2022 lists. Send them our way, and we'll include it in our end of the year roundup show. Also, if you are watching on YouTube right now, click the link in the description to head on over to the spoiler discussion for Glass Onion. If you haven't done that yet, if you're listening on a podcast app, just keep listening till after the outro music, and we'll be back with spoilers. Also, don't forget to follow us on social media on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook at Cinereelists, or you can follow me on my personal Twitter or Letterboxd account at YoJRB.
You can follow me on Twitter or Letterboxd at Chauvin.
You can find me on Letterboxd at PeterSKB.
We will be back next week watching and discussing Babylon from director Damien Chazelle, the new movie starring Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie, which just entered wide release. So if you want to do a little pre-watching, go see that movie. Regardless, we'll be back next week. Until then, keep it cinereal.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.